Because poetry communicates wisdom or timeless existential knowledge, it must be memorable to be passed on. And here, rhyming comes into play. Think about your favorite song. It certainly has verses, stanzas, and a powerful chorus. Humming its melody, singing its lyrics comes naturally to you. The reason why you're able to remember this song so easily is harmony. Harmony, or in musician terms, harmonics, is the law sustaining music. Harmony happens with the willful repetition of a musical pattern. In music theory, this willful repetition is called an ostinato. The ostinato is common in Baroque classical music. Harmony is also what causes us to dance, sway, or shimmy to the sound of a melody. In a song or in a classical composition, harmony is backed by musical instruments. But in a poem, harmony is expressed by meter and repetition. This makes a skillful poet one of the coolest artists there is out there. A musician who is capable of creating music without any instruments. Good poetry causes you to dance somehow. Great poetry creates music without any instruments. In ancient Greece, composing poetry was the privilege of aoidoi and rhapsodes. Homer, for example, who composed two of the most beautiful and influential epic poems for Westerners, the Iliad and Odyssey, was an aoidos. Aoidoi were skilled poets who praised the extraordinary deeds of gods, kings, warriors, initiates, and courts. Think of aoidoi as royal poets. They performed in high places of power. The ancient Egyptian scribe could be equivalent to the aoidos. Scribes in ancient Egypt used to record the supernatural but also the mundane at the pharaoh's court. They were considered initiates of thought, a divine superscribe himself, patron of all scribes and god of magic, mathematics, death, and cosmic order. Coming back to rhapsodes, there were interpreters of poetry who traveled from city to city and recited poetry in exchange for a salary. Rhapsodes dressed elegantly, often in red, says Homer, to mimic the royal or higher status of the aoidos, and they used to aggrandize their performances with tragedy to attract a wider, vaster, larger audience. So, on the one hand, royal poets, aoidoi, who composed epic poetry and played a musical instrument, often with pharynx, a string instrument which resembled both a kitara and a lyre. On the other hand, rhapsodes, entertainers who interpreted epic poetry composed by an aoidos for the layman during contests, due to competition, and performed for a salary. Because of rhapsodes, epic poetry veered and became associated with entertainment, causing poetic formalism to loosen. Plato had a very accurate way of talking about the impulse of entertainment and its effect over a society. He coined a concept, epitumia, the siege of appetites. Not much formalism is required there. A simple formula with common emotions and a persona will do the trick, which is exactly what most rhapsodes proposed at the time. Aoidoi, on the other hand, officiated in high places of power, which influenced the very nature of their poetry, which had to be epic. If you are an aoidos at the king's court, you're not going to talk about what you had for dinner last night. Or the guy who broke your heart. Epic means song in ancient Greek, but not only. It connotes transcendence. What's that? This video is all about it.